The moment you stop running from yourself is the moment true change begins. Every thought, every emotion, every small action carries a hidden power that shapes the path of your life. In the quiet halls of Shaolin temples, generations of monks have discovered that mastery is not found in strength or fame, but in the simple, often overlooked art of awareness. They learn to watch the mind as it flickers between desire and fear, to listen to the body's subtle messages, and to sense the currents of energy that flow through every gesture. This is not a lesson taught in books or repeated in speeches. It is lived, breathed, and honed through a lifetime of disciplined practice. Today, you will uncover the secrets behind this inner observation. You will explore how true self-awareness can transform ordinary moments into gateways of insight. You will learn how to recognize the invisible patterns that guide your decisions, the quiet impulses that shape your character, and the inner barriers that keep your potential trapped. These are teachings whispered across centuries, rarely shared with the outside world, yet they hold the power to change not only how you see yourself but how you move through life. By the end of this video, the veil of distraction will lift, and you will begin to see the subtle currents that govern your mind, body, and spirit. You will learn why self-awareness is the first step toward mastery, and how even the smallest act of reflection can ripple into profound transformation. Welcome to Heng Yi Chronicles, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Subscribe and journey with us as we explore the hidden paths to personal mastery, discovering truths that few ever truly see. Strength is not found in fleeting impulses, but in the quiet persistence of daily choices. Every desire that arises is like a passing wind, tempting the mind, stirring the heart, urging action without thought. In the stillness of Shaolin temples, monks face these winds not with resistance born of force, but with awareness shaped by discipline. Day after day, they rise before the sun, not because a desire drives them, but because the rhythm of practice has become part of their being. Each movement, each breath, each posture is repeated not for reward or recognition, but to train the mind to remain steady when impulses pull in every direction. Discipline is not the absence of desire, it is the mastery of it. A monk may feel longing, impatience, or frustration, yet these emotions are observed, acknowledged, and allowed to pass, leaving the mind calm and focused. It is through this patient repetition that the body becomes a temple of resilience, the mind a mirror of clarity, and the spirit a river that flows without turbulence. Desire may spark energy, but discipline channels it into creation rather than chaos. Consider the hours spent in silent meditation, the countless stances held until muscles burn, the precision of movements repeated until perfection feels effortless. Each is an act of discipline that transforms the fleeting into the enduring. The lessons of Shaolin are subtle yet profound. Strength gained through desire fades with distraction, but strength built through discipline endures, shaping not only the body, but the contours of character. The true mastery of life, the monks teach, is found not in what the heart craves in a moment, but in the steady, intentional choices that guide each day. The world moves in a constant rush, yet the deepest truths are whispered only in silence. In the quiet corners of Shaolin temples, monks sit for hours, not in idle waiting, but in patient observation. The mind, so often pulled by endless noise and distraction, learns to slow, to breathe, to witness itself without judgment. In this stillness, thoughts that once seemed urgent fade into clarity, revealing the subtle currents that guide emotion, intention, and action. Each moment of quiet is not empty, it is alive with understanding, a map of the inner terrain that cannot be seen in haste or distraction. Stillness is not merely the absence of sound, it is the presence of awareness. In the disciplined practice of mindful breathing, a simple posture, or a single, deliberate movement, the mind discovers patterns hidden beneath the surface. It recognizes impulses before they dictate behavior, fears before they take root, and clarity before confusion spreads. This is the work of inner mastery, learning to move through the world without being swept away by it, to act with precision even in the midst of chaos, to respond rather than react. Ancient wisdom teaches that those who embrace stillness are never idle. Each pause, each breath, each quiet observation is a rehearsal for action that is thoughtful, deliberate, and potent. In stillness, the body strengthens, the mind sharpens, and the spirit gains resilience. The noise of desire, distraction, and fear loses its grip, replaced by a calm that is both steady and alive. The art of living, cultivated over centuries, shows that true power does not roar. It moves silently with grace, discipline, and unwavering presence, guiding every step with clarity born from stillness. Every movement of the body carries a message, every breath a lesson. In the quiet halls of Shaolin practice, the body is revered not as a vessel to be used and forgotten, but as a temple to be honored and strengthened. Each posture, each stretch, each precise step is a conversation between mind, spirit, and flesh. The discipline of physical practice is not separate from spiritual cultivation. It is the foundation upon which clarity and resilience are built. Muscles are trained, yes, but so too is focus, patience, and the subtle awareness of how energy flows through every limb and joint. Breath guides the body as much as the body guides the mind. Inhaling deeply, exhaling fully, the practitioner learns to synchronize movement with life's rhythm, discovering that tension in the muscles often mirrors tension in thought, and rigidity in the body reflects rigidity in spirit. Shaolin teachings remind us that to neglect the body is to cloud the mind. To ignore the temple is to weaken the sanctuary within. Strength without awareness is fragile. Flexibility without discipline is fleeting. Through deliberate motion, the body becomes both teacher and student. A simple stance held with unwavering attention cultivates patience. A sequence of movements practiced daily cultivates endurance, not just of the body, but of the will. Pain and fatigue are not obstacles but mirrors, revealing the limits of discipline and the potential for growth. The harmony of movement, breath, and posture fosters presence, a presence that grounds thought, sharpens perception, and allows the spirit to move freely. To honor the body as a temple is to honor the life it carries. It is to recognize that inner mastery cannot flourish in a vessel neglected or abused. Every disciplined step, every mindful breath, and every controlled motion becomes a ritual of self-respect, a bridge connecting the physical, mental, and spiritual dimensions of being. The temple within, tended carefully, becomes the source of enduring strength, clarity, and serenity. Fear arrives quietly at first, a shadow in the mind, a tightening in the chest, a hesitation in movement. In the silence of disciplined practice, it is not pushed away or denied. Instead, it is observed, felt, and understood. Shaolin philosophy teaches that fear is not an adversary to be conquered through force, but a teacher offering insight into the mind and spirit. Every flicker of fear exposes attachment, expectation, or doubt, revealing the boundaries we impose upon ourselves. To face it directly is to illuminate the darkness within and see clearly the path beyond. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act in its presence. A monk steps forward into a difficult stance, into an arduous routine, not because fear is gone, but because the mind has learned to meet it with steady attention. Each deliberate breath, each controlled movement, each quiet moment of focus becomes a training in resilience. Over time, fear loses its power to dictate action, transforming instead into a guide, signaling where growth and understanding lie. Ancient wisdom speaks of fear as a mirror. What is most intimidating often reveals what is most vital to master. The body trembles, the mind hesitates, yet discipline cultivates the ability to remain centered, to respond with intention rather than react with panic. In observing fear without judgment, the practitioner uncovers patience, clarity, and strength previously hidden beneath anxiety and doubt. To live fully is to walk alongside fear, to feel its presence and move anyway. True mastery emerges not from avoiding discomfort, but from meeting it with calm, reflective awareness. Fear ceases to control the mind when it is acknowledged, examined, and respected, becoming a teacher whose lessons shape courage, fortitude, and the quiet, unshakable confidence of one who has faced the unknown and taken each step forward regardless. Nothing in life remains the same. Every moment flows into the next, carrying with it change that is inevitable and unstoppable. Mountains erode, rivers shift, seasons turn, and yet the mind clings, hoping for permanence where none exists. Shaolin philosophy teaches that attachment to what is fleeting brings only suffering, for the heart resists the natural rhythm of existence. True freedom is found not in grasping, but in yielding, learning to move with the currents of life rather than against them. To embrace impermanence is to awaken to the richness of each moment. A leaf falls from a tree, a day passes, a feeling fades, yet in noticing this without resistance, the mind discovers clarity. Discipline is required, for the habit of clinging is strong, woven into thought and desire over a lifetime. Through meditation, movement, and mindful practice, the practitioner learns to witness change without judgment, to experience joy and sorrow fully, yet remain unshaken by either. In this acceptance, suffering begins to dissolve, replaced by a calm that carries no need to control, no fear of loss, and no insistence on permanence. Ancient masters understood that the body, like life, is impermanent, and so the training of the body mirrors the training of the mind. Postures are held, sequences repeated, yet nothing remains identical from moment to moment. Each practice is a lesson in letting go, each breath a reminder that holding on is optional. By observing the ephemeral nature of all things, one cultivates resilience, presence, and a profound sense of liberation. When impermanence is embraced, the mind no longer resists the flow of life. Change becomes a teacher, loss a guide, and every ending a doorway to transformation. In yielding to the ever-shifting tides of existence, true peace emerges, not from permanence, but from the unwavering acceptance of life as it is, alive, fleeting, and endlessly free. The mind often seeks to impress itself with complexity, piling thoughts upon thoughts, weaving endless plans, and chasing countless distractions. Yet true strength is born not from accumulation, but from clarity. Shaolin philosophy teaches that simplicity is the foundation of mastery, for when the mind is uncluttered, insight emerges naturally and action flows with precision. The body, the breath, and the mind become aligned, each movement purposeful, each decision deliberate. Complexity may dazzle, but simplicity endures. In the temple, every action is reduced to its essence. A stance is practiced not with show, but with perfect form. A breath is not hurried, but deep and measured. Even daily routines are stripped to essentials, teaching that greatness is found not in excess, but in the faithful repetition of what truly matters. Thoughts are observed and refined, desires acknowledged but not indulged, and intentions clarified until each act resonates with authenticity and purpose. Through this disciplined simplicity, energy is preserved, clarity sharpened, and the mind learns to navigate life without distraction or confusion. Simplicity also reveals the profound connections between inner and outer worlds. By focusing on essentials, the practitioner uncovers patterns and truths hidden beneath the noise of overcomplication. Each choice, each gesture, each moment of reflection becomes more potent, more intentional. The ancient masters understood that strength is not the weight one carries, but the clarity with which one moves. It is not the volume of knowledge amassed, but the wisdom applied. By embracing simplicity, the mind becomes a mirror rather than a storm, reflecting reality without distortion. Action is precise, thought is clear, and intention is pure. In letting go of what is unnecessary, the path to inner mastery unfolds naturally. Strength does not announce itself. It resides quietly in the focus, the discipline, and the unshakable clarity that emerges when complexity is released, and simplicity guides every step. The world measures achievement by titles, wealth, and recognition, yet these outward markers hold little value without command over the mind. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the greatest victories are invisible, won not on battlefields or stages, but within the quiet chambers of thought. The mind is the forge where character is shaped, intentions are tempered, and perception is clarified. Without discipline here, external success becomes fragile, fleeting, and hollow. Each thought carries weight, each judgment subtly molds the way life unfolds. A mind clouded by fear, doubt, or distraction interprets events through a lens of limitation, creating suffering where none need exist. Conversely, a mind trained in awareness, patience, and focus perceives opportunities, responds with clarity, and acts from a place of centered strength. Shaolin practice integrates movement, meditation, and reflection to cultivate this inner mastery, showing that control over impulses and understanding of thought patterns are far more powerful than any external accolade. Mastery begins with observation, watching the mind's tendencies without judgment, noting where it wanders, and gently guiding it back to purpose. Each day, repeated practices of discipline, whether in posture, breath, or mindful action, strengthen this inner foundation. Over time, the mind becomes steady, resilient, and precise, capable of navigating challenges without being swept away by emotion or impulse. True power emerges when the inner world aligns with intention. Actions become deliberate, decisions resonate with clarity, and presence radiates naturally. External circumstances may shift, yet the mind remains anchored, capable of responding rather than reacting. Ancient masters understood that life unfolds according to the quality of thought. Mastery over the self is the prerequisite for mastery over the world. Only when the mind is disciplined and serene can the life outside reflect the strength, wisdom, and harmony cultivated within. Pride often disguises itself as strength, yet it blinds the mind and narrows the heart. Shaolin wisdom teaches that humility is the doorway to true understanding, for only when the ego is quieted can insight enter freely. A monk bows not to show submission, but to remind the self that mastery is not a destination, it is a continuous journey. Each day offers lessons, each challenge reveals blind spots, and each interaction becomes a mirror reflecting areas yet to be refined. Humility does not diminish ability, it enhances perception. In the discipline of rigorous training, monks witness their limitations constantly, yet they do not despair. They accept mistakes, fatigue, and imperfection as natural teachers. The mind that clings to pride is rigid and defensive, interpreting every correction as a threat. The humble mind, however, absorbs guidance without resistance, transforming critique into opportunity, struggle into growth. In this way, the path of mastery becomes endless, vibrant, and ever-expanding. Ancient teachings speak of humility as a form of strength that flows quietly, yet profoundly. It allows patience to flourish where impatience might dominate, attentiveness to sharpen where distraction might cloud, and insight to deepen where arrogance might obscure. Through humble observation, the monk sees not only the self, but the intricate connections between thought, action, and consequence. Every posture practiced with awareness, every breath measured with attention, every task performed without boast becomes an exercise in aligning ego with wisdom. To walk with humility is to carry no weight of pretense, yet to gain the full weight of experience. It opens the mind to truths otherwise hidden, nurtures resilience, and fosters genuine connection with the world. The journey of mastery, unbound by pride, flows like water, patient, persistent, and infinitely capable of shaping both the self and the life it touches. In humility, the mind finds freedom, the spirit finds clarity, and the path of learning stretches endlessly forward. Each day offers countless moments, often overlooked, yet each carries the potential to shape the mind and spirit. In Shaolin philosophy, there is no division between practice and life. Every action becomes a step on the path of mastery. Eating is not merely nourishment, but an opportunity to cultivate mindfulness, to honor the body, and to observe impulses without indulgence. Walking is not simply movement from one place to another, but a lesson in balance, presence, and awareness of the world with every step. Even speech, when measured and intentional, trains patience, clarity, and compassion. The discipline of daily life transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. A task performed with attention, no matter how small, strengthens focus. A moment of stillness amid chaos hones resilience. Repetition of deliberate action molds character over time, turning habit into wisdom and routine into ritual. Shaolin monks understand that mastery is not achieved only on the mat or in meditation halls. It is forged in the seamless integration of awareness into every gesture, every choice, every encounter. Through this perspective, even challenges become training. An interruption, a difficulty, a conflict is not a distraction, but an opportunity to practice patience, humility, or courage. Each moment offers feedback, how the mind responds, how the body reacts, how the spirit maintains equilibrium. In this way, life itself becomes the teacher, and the practitioner learns to move with precision, grace, and attentiveness in every circumstance. By embracing the principle that every action is training, the boundary between practice and living dissolves. Each breath, step, and word becomes intentional, a reflection of inner mastery extended outward. The ordinary transforms into a continuous journey of growth, where discipline and awareness cultivate strength, clarity, and the quiet, enduring wisdom that guides every aspect of life. True mastery does not come from constant struggle or unrelenting effort. It emerges from the delicate dance between exertion and surrender. Shaolin teachings reveal that the mind and body are most powerful when they move in harmony with the natural currents of life rather than against them. Effort without awareness can create tension, rigidity, and fatigue, while surrender without engagement leads to passivity and stagnation. The balance lies in discerning when to push forward and when to yield, when to act decisively and when to wait in patient observation. In the quiet discipline of practice, this balance becomes visible. A stance held too forcefully may falter, yet when combined with relaxed focus, it becomes unshakable. A strike delivered with sheer force may be blocked, while one guided by timing and flow reaches its target effortlessly. Every motion, every breath, every decision carries lessons about the interplay of effort and surrender. The practitioner learns that control is not about domination, but about attuning to rhythm, responding to circumstance, and aligning action with the moment's energy. Ancient masters understood that life itself is a series of tides, sometimes requiring exertion, sometimes requiring release. In yielding, the mind remains adaptable. In acting, it remains precise. This balance fosters resilience, insight, and an inner calm that no external challenge can easily disturb. Even adversity becomes a teacher, revealing when persistence is needed and when patience serves best. By embracing the harmony of effort and surrender, mastery becomes an art of subtlety. The practitioner moves with grace rather than force, with clarity rather than blind determination. Each step, each choice, each breath becomes an expression of disciplined awareness, demonstrating that true strength is not measured by relentless struggle, but by the wisdom to act in rhythm with life itself. Life mastery is not found in quick fixes or fleeting accomplishments, but in the steady, mindful practice of awareness, discipline, humility, and intentional action. The teachings shared in this journey remind us that true transformation arises when body, mind, and spirit are harmonized, when change is embraced rather than resisted, and when each moment is lived with purpose. By integrating these principles into daily life, observing thoughts, moving with presence, responding with clarity, and releasing attachment, your perception deepens, your actions gain meaning, and a lasting sense of inner peace begins to unfold. Let these lessons guide each step you take, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and reflection. Thank you for joining this exploration of ancient wisdom. If this journey resonated with you, subscribe to Heng Yi Chronicles and continue walking the path of insight, calm, and mastery with us.